I am back from my little rendezvous. Kidding, it wasn't a rendezvous. It was just a little change of scenery. I'm feeling tired because I've been in the water, I've been in the pool. Just like body tired, not really sleepy, but almost, I don't know, I feel a little drowsy. Um, Still feeling the type of way because I only took 2 of my children. I didn't take all 3. Would have been nice to have all 3. I'm back home, back to life, back to reality, I guess, in a sense. And it was very short lived, but all I need is a good 2 days. I need 3 days. 3 days might be pushing it. 4 days, definitely. I think be ready to come back to my place of comfort. Um, the kids seem to have had fun. I actually had a dream about my oldest son. He gave me a hug and he was like, he was giving me a hug and then he was saying life is worth living. And so, that was, it speaks volumes, but, I still just feel like there's this haze trying to hover over me, over my life and stuff. And what's so funny about that is I was just looking back on a situation where I got into it. I don't want to say it like that, but it basically is what it is. I had got into it like this back and forth type thing with this person's mom, and she had even like my kids are so well behaved when they did what I asked them to do and all that. They pretty much followed instructions down to the T. I'm gonna say a good 99% of the time. It's always that 1% small percentage where people like to try to do their own little thing or whatever, but they didn't even do much of that. Sometimes they just made some mistakes or had some hiccups, but they did well. They were well behaved. But this lady, she, of course, grown or whatever, and then, um, I was going back and forth with her, not trying to be hostile or anything, but just was saying what needed to be said, speaking on some stuff, stating facts, and it's like her grown child knew that I was on the phone. I don't know if it's because they set it up like that, where she calling, so come in here or whatever. I don't know. To me, it seems like that's the type of stuff that they do because I've kind of seen stuff like that before. But anyway, I just always say God is the head of the enemy, and she did that, and her grown child was in the background and saying little stuff to me, saying all types of crazy stuff that I did not care about. I didn't care to hear, honey, because I'm not trying to discuss nothing with you. If I want to talk to you, I'll reach out to you directly. Never have, never didn't want to, didn't feel the need to. So, and it's like this person just wanted to be and include themselves so bad on every time that I'm saying something to somebody else. It's so annoying. It's like a bug that needs to be squashed, and I don't mean to sound arrogant or anything, but that's the type of annoyance it was. Like literally, I feel like a bug that needs to be squashed, but that's I do feel like that's not that's not my decision making or whatever when it comes to that. But this coming at me is like, do you want me to be the triggering thing that like sets it off to basically have you squashed? I'm just saying this is how I feel. This is not literal. But anywho, what was I gonna say? Yeah, so she was saying little stuff. Then I heard the lady say, telling the girl get out my room and this, that, and the third, but she didn't. It don't seem that she enforced it because the child was. I might as well say child, even though the person is supposed to be grown by age, but the child was still in the room, just yapping and yapping and yapping, like in grown folks' business. Like, I'm not talking to you. I didn't call you. I didn't call your line directly. Let your mama handle herself. Mothers should be able to handle their business, especially if they started something with somebody, or if they, if they initiated something with somebody, and somebody wants to address something with them. That's that. Because this is the funny part. Because this person, her mom had also called me one time to ask me to to do something and allow something. And I didn't hear her in the background then. She wasn't yapping or doing none of that. It was just, But anyway, so that's what's on my mind when I get back, freshly back from, what I'm saying, when you go to a vacation or change of scenery, you shouldn't even have to think about stuff like that. But that's what's on my mind for whatever reason. It's so, you know, it's still like annoying, and it's like, um, again, I mean, I just have to speak that this person is no longer here. This person is deceased, and I'm thankful for that. But it's just like, why is even like thoughts of what I went through when this person was alive still lingering? And I don't know. I almost feel like somebody's just trying to relate me to this person or whatever, and I'm not. I want to be disassociated. I'm not related. Thank God I'm not blood related. Um, and thank God, you know what I'm saying, that it's like it is, status quo, this current day situation, because even the ones that I'm close to that are related, you know what I'm saying, they don't have to, I feel like they don't have to deal with that. But when I say relate me to that, I just feel like something is trying to relate and connect me to that, because my daughter is not in here and is separated from me, my household, my life. Um, and although I can't stand that, I don't like it or whatever, I'm still grateful that, again, last I knew, she's still alive, she's still breathing. So, still got the possibility of changing that. And getting back to being involved and interacting with her. I hope I'm not talking too low, because this thing is getting muffled and I didn't even realize. But hopefully I'm speaking loud enough. But yeah, my yeah, it just makes me feel like, why do I have to deal with this when, what I'm saying? When honestly, all we had to do was avoid that whole thing to begin with. Like that even when I'm just being honest, when that person was living, just avoid that whole situation. You know what I'm saying? I'm a person that I have experienced heartbreak, upset, all that stuff, but nobody is running to my aid to say, "Oh, we can fix it for you. We can do this." But it seemed almost like people was running to this person and another person, another female, but this person's aid to like try to fix her stuff, and it's like, but people that really do need the help and want to heal and stuff, and not hold on to stuff and not make up stuff, not fabricate things. People don't want to help, seemingly. People that just need, people like, I'm speaking about myself, that like just need that extra little push or encouragement. So while we was away, I did have some encouragement. It was some nice people. Some people definitely had hidden agendas, but some people were just genuinely nice. And I do pray that that person is blessed, like highly blessed and highly favored, because they didn't have to do what they did. And then while we was there, we had another experience where my son, he didn't really know how to swim and stuff, but there was this young guy, young man, probably around his, oh no, I think the guy was like 1 year older than him. He was 10, and he was very patient, and his name is David. I'm just going to name him. Of course, nobody will ever know who he is or whatever, but if we see him again, we'll know. But he was so sweet, and he took the time to try to teach my son how to swim, and my son actually wanted to learn from him, as opposed to when I was telling him, look, do it like this, do that, do that. He wasn't trying to hear from me, but he did not have a problem listening to this younger guy that was his peer. And like, he really almost pretty much grasped it. He's doing so much better. He's swimming and he stays in the same place, but he still was swimming, and he can swim enough pretty much to float. Or I would feel like, okay, if you fell in, you would know how to get yourself up to the surface and not drown. Because for a while I was so scared that it was gonna take him so long to grasp it. But the one thing about my son, when he does get ready to grasp something, when it's his time or whatever, he gets it quickly. It takes him sometime a long, I mean, it can take a year, 6 months, it can take maybe 2 years, you know what I'm saying, just to get it from the first time he does it. But on that time that's meant for him to get it, like, I mean, it can take 30 seconds, a minute for him, because he listened, whether it was, he needed to hear it from this person, whatever. And then I like the interactions that he had with the little boy, with his peer. And the only other other thing is there was some other stuff that annoyed me, like the boys' sisters and stuff like that. Oh God, they were annoying. Well, not they. It was one of them that was just, to me, she was just, I don't want to say she's too grown. She wasn't even mature, but she was just, they was not watching her enough. For both parents to be there, they were not on her enough. Um, she's just like a little feisty and a little, definitely meddlesome, and not to my liking at all. Like, I just want to say, look, girl, please mind your business. But me trying to be very careful of how I deal with people, whatever. And granted, she's a young girl, so I'm just like, I know how kids are. She kept wanting me to watch her do little tricks and stuff, and I'm like, girl, you got two whole parents right there. They can watch you. I'm trying to watch my kids and make sure that they are fine, and yeah, they're not drowning and this, that, and the third. But then she was like hanging on to my every word, paying attention to things that I was saying to my kids, and I'm just like, I want to say, girl, please go on somewhere. I'm not talking to you. I'm talking to my kids, and whatever I say to them is really none of your business. I made it successfully without saying any of that, but I was definitely just giving her the side eye and just like, girl, go on. And she just kept saying little stuff. Why can't they do this? Why can't they? And because I'm their mama and I decided that they're not gonna do it. That's why. Also, go on about your business. But just meddlesome, and that can like take away from their experience or whatever. And it's like, y'all get your child. But they was off in their own little world at times. One of them gave me a side eye and like a snide little look when I was trying to get back in the location that we were at, and she did not help at all. But her husband was nicer, but he was still off in his own little Twilight Zone type world, and that's that. But I was so thankful for their son. It was very graceful, like the way he dealt with my child, and he had conversations with me. He was talking to me, and for a second, I felt like, boy, go on back down there with your people your age. But I didn't dare say that, and he was just, his demeanor was much better. Like, it was just, he was kinder, and he wasn't as meddlesome. He was more helpful than he was meddlesome. Like, I told his parents, I bragged on him. They might not have wanted to hear, but I told him, I said, he's gifted at what he does. Like, he takes time and patience to help train somebody, so he's really awesome. And I wanted to like give him, a few dollars or whatever, but just to encourage him. But they didn't really let me. And then honestly, he's mature, because I said, well, I want to give you a little bit of cash, and he was like, I think I've earned my quarter for the day or something like that. And I had never heard that phrase before. And for him being so young, I think that was awesome. But mature, helpful, kind spirited, that was good. And I wanted my kids to interact with somebody like that. And so, you know, just feeling drowsy and dreary and whatever, just because I didn't have my other child with me. Period. That's just what it is. Real mothers do real things. Real mothers feel, what they feel regarding all their kids. I don't have no favorites. I love all my children, and just the fact that, again, it's been it's gonna be soon to go on 8 months that I haven't seen my child. Well, oh, I don't know how I got choked up, but hadn't been around my child like I wanted to since that time, but but still thinking about my child every single day. Like, this is not a day that passes that I don't wake up and say, oh, I got 3 kids. Don't matter who ain't here, I got 3 children, period. Like, that's really, really tough. So with that said, I just want people to definitely think about, before you lay down, I'm talking about, and I know it seems like it's the woman, but that needs to make a better decision on what man she has a baby with. I don't know how God will do it, but we need some better choices to pick from. If you're gonna put it on the woman as the responsibility, we need some better choices to choose from. Lord, I'm talking to you. Now, this generation and on into future generations, but everybody just needs to be careful who they have children with, and be sure that that's somebody that you are going to want to raise your children with long term, because it's designed to be the lifetime type, you know what I'm saying? Not jumping around, bed hopping, and having children in one household and in another, because things like this happen where, one child gets separated because they got a different set of bloodline or biological, and it just causes a rift in things. So, and sometimes those other bloodline people are not doing it because they really care. Sometimes they're just doing it to spite somebody else. They're not they're not doing it because they genuinely care about the child. And I don't, in this case, I feel like that's a main reason. It's not to, it's just to, and it's to, of course, make them feel like they look better and help them feel better. But only at the end of the day, it's only God knows the truth, and of course, the child that's actually interacting and being in the midst of that. So that person who's getting the experience would know. But that's what it feels like. But like I said, enjoyed myself. Definitely ate at a couple different places. Had some crazy experiences with some of the delivery apps, both Grubhub and Uber Eats. Like it wasn't good at all what I experienced. I kind of sort of in a roundabout way got compensated, but not really. It's in a way that's always going to benefit them, whether they give you some kind of Uber cash or they give you some kind of discount that they want you to use, and it's only good for 30 days, or they want you to use real quick back into their app. So it's really just, it was crazy, and it really just changed my mindset and helped me to know I'm definitely gonna be eating a lot more at home. But while we were out, that's what I wanted to do. We missed our opportunity on going to a museum, but maybe next time, or maybe whenever we get out again. Gotta get back in the mindset of being back at home and just preparing for something that's coming that's really concerning me, but I'm just trying to get myself together before it happens. What else? What else did I want to speak on? I think it's mainly that thing again about that person's mother, and it's crazy that I was more involved with the person directly. I was not trying to be involved with their relatives, but a lot of stuff transpired between me and their relatives, and I was just like, wow. Not just on the maternal side, but the paternal side too. The paternal side, I'm just trying to keep that at bay, keep that away from me. Like I've mentioned before, they don't even exist in me, although they're still alive. They're still, I guess, thriving or whatever. You know what I'm saying? But I just don't want to be a part of that. I don't want no. I really don't want my kids to be a part of that, because the whole quote unquote organization is just, it's messy. It's messy, and like they're nasty. And it's almost like they don't want nobody else to be in it, but they won't say that. Be real with yourself. We don't have no room for nobody else. We don't want to add nobody else on. Okay. And I guess they may not want to say that because, and this is just coming to me today, but they might not want to say that because it sounds mean, it sounds harsh, but okay, I understand y'all ain't got y'all stuff together, like y'all feel like y'all want it together or whatever, so you don't want to include nobody else that's gonna be able to know certain. That's fine. To me, that's understandable. Everybody doesn't understand that. I'm an understanding person, because that's how I feel in a whole bunch of aspects. To be honest, like there's some disorderliness over here, so I just don't want to include anybody else right now. I don't have no room for nobody else right now. I can't say get in where you fit in. I can just say, I might have a space one day, and then the next day, baby, you might just have to stay where you at, stay in your position, stay at your place where you at. So, if people would just kind of keep it real and just be like, and granted, you tell somebody that, they can feel how they feel, but it's just it was the truth. Instead of trying to act like y'all can do this, or like y'all family oriented when you're not. You don't even got your stuff together within the so-called family things, because I've seen this with so-called family makeup or whatever, because I've seen it with my own eyes. I've seen the messiness. I've seen how they do each other, they talk behind each other's backs and stuff like that. And yeah, I mean, nobody, and that's where I come in the play, where I'm like, dang, I should have been able to check that out a little better and not have my children in something like that. That's why I do hold myself accountable, but I didn't know, and the person that I was interacting with, I didn't meet them through these people. I didn't feel like I needed to do all that or whatever. Granted, you always, when you're involved with somebody, you want to be able to bring them around other people that you love, or whatever the case may be, that you interact with, you're familiar with. But I think too, we gotta get to a place where we realize that's not gonna always be the case because everybody doesn't gel well, everybody doesn't mesh well together. So, you know, so with that said, that's how that is. I feel a little better after speaking about this again, and I feel like, I mentioned the thing about me dealing with the person's mother over and over or whatever, but, and then there is one mother that is still alive, and, I'm saying I don't wish death, don't seek death, nothing like that, but that is, to me, is just less of a woman. But anyway, that's another story for another day. I'm sure I've already spoken on that too, but I just, I feel better when I vent about it. I did have a dream too last night, or like a experience that at the location we was at, that there was a gunman, and I like literally heard loud shots and stuff like that, and I seen us in the street trying to avoid that, avoid getting shot and some other stuff. So it was like a nightmare, it was like a horror type thing, but it was more of a spiritual experience, and just, God letting me know or awakening me to something, whether it was had to do with that location or it has to do with my spiritual location, or just like, something in the spirit realm. So I don't know, may God reveal, but I did like the part where my son hugged me and was like, "Mom, life is worth living." I think that was amazing. Even though wherever we was at, it wasn't the most lit up place. It wasn't, it wasn't too much light, but he was just still even able to say, okay, I think we'll be all right. And then of course when he started grasping swimming and stuff, he was like, okay, I think I want to go places where we can swim more and we can. So I pray to God make a way, because it won't be me making no type of way. But he's like, I just want to swim more and get more experience, and I love that for him. And then it kept him away from the devices and stuff that always on all the time, every day. Even got home and they ready to get on it again. I was like, no, we're gonna let our brains get just process what we just did, and then later on, probably later on this evening, I'll let them get on there because they're gonna try to be on there. But if I go to sleep anyway, somebody will try to sneak if I don't lay on top of the stuff. But I just want them to enjoy the daylight and stuff. They stayed in the pool for a while, for hours. Anyway, I think somebody at my door, so I'm getting ready to get off from here. Come back later.